Yeah, that's fine.
It has started. Right.
It just started.
I want to explain what we currently have.
I'm gonna set a board real quick.
Okay. You can set it as the farmlands. So
Yeah, I'll
this
do that.
is D&D board visualizer, we're currently calling it. Devlog number 1. Hello everyone, I'm the Trollface. This is my friend. He has a maid outfit.
I do.
Um, what we
Okay,
currently
what do I have
have
next?
is I don't. I'm gonna let you explain it afterwards if you want the technical aspect, but I'm stupid, so you know.
That's fine. That's fine.
I play D&D. He doesn't. He codes. I doesn't. I don't.
He
So
doesn't.
I doesn't.
Uh,
I wanted a quick and easy way to um, and easy way. Sorry, of of making and building in Minecraft a board for my D&D games that I host and DM for, and this guy's helping me. So what we currently have is this is the ability to build this whole thing. So I made a little farmland scene with some warehouses for my current campaign, and what we have are current character tokens that can move, and they all have like customizable movement, just like in the game. So if you have a lot of movement, if you're like a little quick little guy, then you can walk more, and so on and so forth. You wanna show?
I can show. So right now I have set a board. It's currently invisible, but it I guess it spans the whole field here. It doesn't need to, but I've assigned it to be like that. And you set a board by using world edit. So you I've added one character to this board, which his name is Evil, and he is controlled by me. But I can control this character by using my stick that I have here. If I left tap him, then I'll get a highlight of where he can walk. This is calculated. Hold this button. This is calculated using a lot of shenanigans, but we you can basically move the character by right-clicking on a spot on the ground that's highlighted, and he's going to go there. The after a while, he's going to run out of, I guess we call it fuel.
Movement.
Yeah, so then I can't move him anymore. But if I assign myself another turn again, which I do through this clunky command, then I can go and walk again. So I have it's my turn again. I can move over here, and then I can move over here, and then I can move over here. And this little pathfinding algorithm to just indicate where he walked. So that's what I would do if there was one character, but it doesn't need to be. What I can do is I can do DNDPP turn null, and then I'm going to give Rhodium a character.
That's
So
me.
Rhodium.
By the way, Spartan, we're recording thing right now. You can be
Oh,
funny though. You can say a funny line. Say a funny line,
and
Spartan.
see if anyone. Say
Yowza
catchphrase.
yowza do.
That's not your catchphrase. That's not your
Oh,
catchphrase.
have an awesome day.
No, he just messed it up again. Can we ban him?
Oh man.
Alright,
Come
this
on.
is my character's my little token.
DNDPV add Guy to Rhodium. So the way that we assign them names is we just name the skull at the moment, which is not a great way to do it, but it works. So now that Rhodium is in charge of Guy over here, I'm gonna give him the turn. You now the turn, and then he can move his token, just like I could move
So
mine.
I clicked on the little fella. Let's say I want to go here. There he all the way.
You
Can you
go.
give me another turn?
Yep, will do. I'll actually yeah, okay. Yeah, you got it.
Okay. Signs are kind of weird.
Yeah, signs are currently so the way that this is to do with the little details of the algorithm that we're using. But the way that it current oh my god, why is there a player character underground here? Okay,
Yeah,
whatever.
older people are underground currently because we didn't know how to do. So I didn't know how to like remove them.
Oh well. But yeah, anyways, the different blocks have to be manually classified as solid or soft. So they're actually named hard and flaccid internally, which I think is funny. But
It's kind of funny.
for example, the trapdoors here, although they pretty much look like they take up only the bottom portion of the block, the plugin sees them as taking up the whole block, which is, it's not great, but that's the current version of the plugin. So signs are classified as a hard block, so they will
Also,
take up all space.
currently you can place blocks, but you can't mine them.
Yeah, there's a
Which
lot of
is kind
funny
of funny.
things. Um, if another thing is if you try to move your character now, I'm gonna give you 100 to walk on. So
I'm
there you
taking him to the fields.
go. If you come back here real quick, so you can record the blocks you placed.
Oh yeah.
So his blocks are not recognized at the moment because we haven't added them to the collision map or whatever. So
Yeah, they don't have little
if
things on them.
yeah, if you just click on your character again to reset the turn, I'm gonna run a little command. Then now use your turn again. Then well, okay, hold on.
Yeah, no, this one here.
Yeah, that one
You
there is
just
now.
can't climb on more than 2.
Yeah. So we need to run a command between updates to the board to record them, which is clunky, which should also hopefully be ironed out eventually.
He can walk on grass and
Um,
stuff. He just falls down.
you can. That's also intentional because for example, wheat, you can't really click on the block underneath. So the only thing that makes sense is to be able to step on top of the wheat and then fall onto the block beneath.
Yeah, with the armor stand physics.
Yeah. The armor stands are just invisible and invulnerable, but they're not immune to physics. So they still have their AI and everything, so they can fall and they're subject to the same physics. Currently, as well, it's difficult to remove them because if you clear the board, then they're still in their invulnerable states. So you need to recreate the board and then
Yeah,
re-add them to the new board and then
that's what we
remove
did.
them and then you can break them.
That's what we did with the with the guys on the ground. That's why they're
Yeah.
underground.
Yeah, it's annoying.
All right, what do we want to do for next patch? This is
So
how we're gonna structure this.
the next patch is hopefully hold on, we haven't done the circles yet. D&D
Oh
PvE,
yes,
let
of
me
course.
just tap the ground.
Lily pad.
Oh yeah, lily pad, of course. I keep forgetting that we
You
did that.
foolish man.
We have some yeah, we made some like tools so that you can't accidentally trigger the board functions, but yeah, we have these circles to highlight radiuses for all sorts of different things.
These are for highlighting area of effect statuses for spells
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
you
If you
can kind
want
of
to check,
decide
yeah, you can set
what
the
it's gonna represent.
radius. So if you want to be like, oh, I can I send a message spell to one of the people 120 feet, then that's
Yeah.
it. We use conversions as 1 block being 1 meter and 1 meter being 3 feet. That's just for
Yeah.
my game. It's not anything technical. But yeah.
So we can, yeah. So that's the circle thing. So for the next patch, what you were saying before I rudely interrupted you.
How dare you?
Sorry. We want to iron out a lot of the clunkiness. We want to move away from using commands as the primary way of interacting with the board. This is how I make Rhodium have a turn, which is not a particularly user-friendly way. And we also want to open up some basically some obstacles that sit in between certain interactions in the board. So, for example, as a DM, you currently cannot move other people's figures, even though you should really be able to because you're in control of the board. You did like the board administrators. You should have control of other people's characters, so in case you want to just clean something up, right? But you currently can't do that. So we want to just open up a few things like that and just make it easier to use for the DM and to have more control for the DM. And we also, I think I said user friendliness, but like user friendliness for both the DM and for the people who are using the board. So we want to have chat UIs, chest UIs. Not sure if chest UI is going to make it to the next update because it's a little bit finicky.
Sorry.
But definitely chat UIs, definitely tools to interact with the board. So you'll have the world edit one and world edit brushes will have that, except for the D&D plugin. So you'll have to hold a certain item to be able to do certain things on the board. Currently, we do that with sticks and lily pads, but we're going to have like more sophisticated with custom names and everything. That's hopefully going to be next update. Another thing that's going to be next update is an initiative system. So we can roll initiative for the different. This is not my area of expertise, but you basically be able to roll initiative for uh, uh, the different figures and also for different groups of figures. If you have a group of bandits that share initiative, then they should be able to do that just fine. That's something that also needs to be addressed in like with user friendliness. It needs to be easy to assign initiative and whatnot. So I
Neat.
believe that's that. I
Um,
don't know if we want to do the technical thing right now, but
if you wanna, I mean, this is for us.
yeah, I guess it's nice to
Digital
keep track of.
footprints. If you say something funny
Yeah,
right now, it'll stay on the internet forever.
it'll stand. Yeah, exactly. Come back to haunt me when I search for a job, and they'll be like, "You made this like horrible D&D plugin." And I'm not gonna. Sorry.
Yeah, why'd you say those things?
Yeah. Right now we are calculating the. We're currently representing. Well, the plugin doesn't have any idea of the board itself. It just knows the coordinates of where it's at, and it knows sort of what's on it, but it doesn't know the blocks. It only knows it stores the um just the type of block. If it's a block you can walk on, if it's a block you can't walk on, if it's a block you can stand inside of, or if it's a fence. Fences have a unique behavior because when you walk over a fence in D&D, I believe you said this, right? When you walk over a fence in D&D, you have to you basically lose a bit of distance that you can walk after the fence.
Yeah,
So
any vertical space that you climb that isn't like, stairs or whatever, any vertical like thing is double movement. Feel free to not correct me if I'm wrong, people who are maybe watching this. But yeah, any
yeah,
vertical, like if you want to move 5 feet vertically, that's gonna use 10 feet of your what you and I call fuel, but of your movement.
yeah. So that's yeah. So it only stores the I guess you call it metadata of the blocks, and it whenever you refresh the board, whenever you set a new board, it needs to recompile that map, which is a very intensive process. It sucks. It's bad. But anyways, that's how we store the information. How we calculate where you can walk is done through a recursive algorithm, which has been made into an iterative algorithm to avoid blowing the stack up. And all it does is it just kind of checks the block that you're standing on. It's easier to do it in 2 dimensions, but it works just fine in 3 dimensions as well. You just check the block that you're currently standing on, and then you check the blocks that are adjacent to that block, and if those are not I guess obstructed, so it will then check the collision or obstacle map and see if those blocks are blocks you can stand inside of, and if there's a block you can stand on underneath. If that's the case, then you can walk into that spot, and what it'll do is it's going to subtract 1 from your distance that you're able to walk again, because you've then just walk 1 step basically to the next block, and then it's going to run the same algorithm on the new position, and it's going to repeat the process. So that's how we calculate the all the different stepping where you can walk, which is it's easy to explain in terms of recursion, but the implementation at the moment is iterative, and it uses a linked list to keep track of the positions that have been visited and that it needs to go to next, because it's more friendly on the resources. In the next update, however, the obstacle map the algorithm is probably going to remain roughly the same, although I'm going to restructure it so that you can add more rules as to how and which blocks you can like step on. But what I will do is I will turn the obstacle map instead into I think I named it an obstacle provider in my current like beta build, which is basically an object that just reads the world data and then provides it to the algorithm for it to examine. And the advantage of this is that the obstacle provider can be an interface, an abstract class, and then we'll have the ability to tweak what obstacle provider we want to use. So if we have a very big board, maybe it makes more sense to use an obstacle provider which works in a different way than with a very small board, because of the differences in how you'd want to access the obstacles. Maybe some obstacle providers are going to cache the obstacle data, so they don't need to access the world data because that's a slightly intensive process. Maybe some of them will just do what we're doing now, and it'll just compile the whole board and just store it in memory. Maybe some of them are just going to read world data like all the time if it's a very big board. So that's the plan for the next. And doing that, it's going to um, it's going to fix a lot of the memory issues that are currently with the plugin. Currently, if you try to set a board that's like way too big, it just crashes immediately because it uses way too much allocates just way too much memory for the obstacle map. And with obstacle provider solution, instead we can choose how we want to access the obstacle data. So that's going to be another change.
Just a skill
for
issue
the
if it can load or not.
Yeah, exactly. And also, another thing we want to ship into the next update is the ability to make changes to the board and have it reflect immediately instead of refreshing the board. This is also going to be made much easier by making an obstacle provider type object instead of having um, a whole massive 3-dimensional array that stores everything, which is what we currently have. So that's the plans, I guess, and how it works internally.
After all of that, which I understood all of it, by the way, because I'm like super duper smart and handsome.
Can confirm. We do have sex from time to time.
Whoa, you can't say that on the internet, person. This is
Sorry.
being recorded.
What do they say on YouTube? They say like unalive or kill. Now, what do they say for sex?
Yeah. I don't
Uh,
know. We're gonna figure it out as we go. As more
interact inappropriately.
The more and more of these devlogs, which I'm gonna make for each patch, or just
We're
when
gonna
we feel
devolve
like
and
it.
evolve. Yeah, the sexual tension is gonna just build between
Can you
us.
stop? Can you stop? Can you stop?
Sorry.
Digital footprint. We just talked about this, man. Watch. 10 years from now, you're gonna be like, oh my god, what can I do? What am I gonna do? I need
I'm
to.
gonna
I
be
need
lying
to
on my
find some
deathbed, and
money.
my fucking like grandchildren are gonna come up to me.
Why did you say this on like that video that got 12 views?
Or if like
Who's
YouTube
this
like
rhodium guy?
What if YouTube just starts randomly recommending it to people, like it does sometimes? There's like videos that nobody knows about, and it just recommends it to like everyone suddenly, and suddenly like the whole internet knows about like our little interaction. That would be
I
really funny.
hope that'll be super duper funny. I hope everyone in like my high school friends find out about this and are gonna be
They
like,
find
"You play
what's
Minecraft, nerd? Oh, you play D&D as well, nerd? Can we get
what if you get
this?"
killed?
I don't think. Okay, I don't think they'll
What
go
if they
that
kill you?
far.
Oh, okay. I guess
Wait,
it's
this
just
is stop.
Norway.
We need to stop being funny. We need to stop being funny.
Okay, we do. Yeah.
Listen, man. God, you're so annoying. What I talked with you, but yeah, do you want to talk a little bit about putting this out there, as in like how people can download this? Maybe.
Uh,
What do we want to do with
well,
that?
currently I don't have a lot of plans. Well, I should say we, because I'm like only programming here. But
Yeah, you're only doing everything.
no, because you're telling me how you want it to work because you play D&D, I don't, so which is like more important than you think. But for putting it out there, I definitely want to open a GitHub repository, have a public GitHub repository, and make it an open source type thing where the base software is going to be free for anyone to download, free for anyone to use, with like no strings attached, basically. Just because it's nice, right? It's nice to be able to
What, are
give
you a
something like this to
communist
people.
or something? Whoa! I'm
Um,
sorry. I'm sorry for saying the C word.
but yeah, but for some things, like if some people have a campaign that requires um, uh, some special functionality, maybe, then I might have a Patreon. People can suggest features or ask for custom, I guess, builds where there are changes to the base application that are not too significant, so that I can easily, do it for like the time that they give me, and also for the money that they would give me, and then I can make them a little custom version of the program that has those changes added to it. But they can also do that themselves if they want, because it's going to be open source. So it's just so that the time that I would spend making a custom version for somebody, um, that would be time that I could also spend, I don't know, at work making money. So to just compensate for that, to offset it, it would be nice to be paid for that time. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, but if people want to do it themselves, then I have nothing against that. Or if people want to, if somebody else opens like a Patreon or has a service where they modify my software to help other people and to make custom build for other people, then there's nothing against that like either. I don't really mind. It's just so that the time that I would spend doing it isn't like that I'm able to live off of that time,
Can
because time is money.
we, if you like, do all that work and like customize it for them and like code it for them specifically? Could I get like 80% of the profit or something? I think that's fair.
I think that's fair, yeah.
I don't really
Now
see a
we're
reason.
we're probably no, we're probably gonna split like profits somewhere down the line. But that generating profit is first of all a big if, because it requires people to actually like pay for it, which requires people to know about it, which requires it to be good enough to be like noticed
Yeah,
by
well, we'll
anybody.
see how. By the way, this
Exactly.
this is for D&D 5th edition. The only reason I see why people would maybe want to switch this up is for other games, but you know,
Yeah.
we'll see.
I guess maybe some people might want, like, if people have homebrew and they want to add that to their if they
Excuse
wanna,
me,
like
excuse me, person. Um,
uh
Listen, there's no homebrew. That's not a real thing. I was just joking. It's not an actual feature in D&D. So, yeah, you got trolled, buddy, and there's nothing you can do.
sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but if people, hope that is a joke. If people do
No, that is a
have,
joke.
if people have some like stuff that they just, I don't know, for whatever reason, maybe some people just don't like the UI and they want a fucking better one, I guess, then I can make that for them. And maybe some of the paid features are going to be included in the base software. Uh, I would have to ask the people who commissioned it beforehand, obviously. But if they're okay with it, they might be added to the base plugin, right? So that it becomes free after
Also,
they basically pay for it.
with that, the campaign I'm running is in a different language. It's not in English. I don't think that'll affect the code too much. It'll only like the chat messages that pop up for players and the item descriptions might just be in a different language. But
Yeah,
I don't know. I think that's easily.
it's very easy. Most plugins have they have an own file for that in configuration for called language.yaml or toml or whatever the configuration language they use. And basically it just has a little keys for the different messages. So say for example you have the notification for whenever it's a new turn, you would call that like notification dot turn dot new, and then you basically assign that to something. So in English it will be it's a new turn. But if it's a different language, then you could just replace that in a configuration file with anything you want. And the next time that would be shown in chat, it would just look up the key for the message and it would just display whatever was assigned to that key, which is how you would reassign them. So it's super easy. But it's also like a slightly finicky thing sometimes, because currently everything, all the messages are just stored as like raw um, literal strings in the source code. So it would
Raw.
require making a little it would require making a little system for just accessing the configuration file and
We'll
reading
see.
the.
We'll see. We still have no idea if people care enough or want this. I don't know what the market is for people who play D&D and Minecraft, And in that market, how
There's
many
probably
people
like
would
a
like to?
suspiciously large overlap, I think, as with like a lot of people.
Yeah, but I don't know how many people would actually want to do this and
Yeah,
instead use Roll20 like nerds. I hate
yeah.
Roll20.
I guess it also depends on how you play the game. Like you like to build a lot, so I guess it
Yeah,
makes sense to
I'm a
build
big fan.
the little world.
These maps, by the way, I'm gonna be creating these just custom, like for my own campaign and uses, obviously. So they might not be extremely useful for everyone, but I'm more than happy to put these online as a world download for each new map for people to just grab them and modify them as they wish, and like I don't know, remove these houses if you just want a big field area.
Yeah.
Or people can do what they want. It's a blank slate. It's Minecraft. Have fun. Be
Wow.
creative. Don't steal from
Profound.
other people.
Yeah. You hear that, Rhodium?
Dude, don't steal. Please believe me. Yeah, we like to have fun here.
We like to have fun. You stole the idea of building a Minecraft from Green.
Ain't no way, dude. That guy, I love him. He's British.
He's British.
Um,
Blimey.
Crikey. But yeah, this is devlog number 1. Person, do you want to say anything funny to the like 2 viewers that are gonna watch?
Have an awesome day.
Oh, he said it. He said it yet again. All right, to the 4 people that are subscribed to my channel currently, I hope you enjoy and I hope you have fun watching this. What is this? 26-minute long video. And I hope it was extremely entertaining and super well edited.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not gonna edit this and just gonna put it online. All right, signing off. Yabba doodle doo, or whatever I say. What's my catchphrase?
Yowza do, I think.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I'm not gonna say
that.
that. But all right.
See how it is.
CRU squad signing out.